Hello everyone, welcome to Pushpa's English classes. Today we are going to do subject verb agreement or subject verb concord. So let's get started. So what is subject verb agreement or subject verb discord? Basically the subject and verb must agree in person and in number. So that means, if the subject is singular, the verb also has to be singular. And if the subject is plural, the verb will also be plural. For example, she writes every day. So whenever you add s to the verb, it becomes singular. So here she writes, writes s. So it's singular. And even the subject here is singular. That is she. So she writes every day. The subject is singular, so that is why the verb is also singular. Now if you write the same sentence using the verb write, how do we change the subject? The subject becomes plural there. If the subject is plural, then only you can change the verb. For example, they write every day. Here the subject they is plural, so that is why the verb will also be plural, write. Here again, the last rule here says that when two subjects express together one idea, singular verb is used. There are two subjects here, time and tide, but they express a singular idea. What is that idea? That time and tide waits for none. So you have a verb there, waits, and it is singular since s is added to the verb. So here we are told that when two or more singular subjects are joined together, plural verb is used. So whenever you have two or more than two singular subjects and they are joined together, then we use plural verb. For example, Mrs. and Mr. Gupta are going to market. It's never is going to market, but it is are going to market. And the next rule states that if the given nouns look like plurals, because they end in s, but they are in fact singular nouns, then we use a singular verb. For example, if somebody poses a question to you, what is your favorite subject? You say it's mathematics or you say it's economics. So that is basically a singular noun, and that's the reason we are going to use a singular verb. So although economics ends in s, it is to be treated as a singular noun. So the verb is also going to be singular verb. So economics is my favorite subject. So if you have everybody, somebody, nobody, anybody or anyone in a sentence, that will have a singular verb. For example, nobody is perfect in this world. You never say nobody are perfect in this world, but nobody is perfect in this world. The next rule states that if subjects are joined by or, nor, either, neither, the verb agrees with the subject nearest to it. Now, what do I mean by this? Let me explain you with the help of an example. Here in this sentence, neither he nor his sister was there. Okay. So, sister is singular. That is the reason the verb nearest to the subject, that is sister, will also be singular. That is the reason we have sister was, because even sister is singular. Okay. That is the reason the verb is also singular. That means the verb agrees with the subject nearest to it. Let me take another example. He or his friends are to be blamed. So here friends, okay, plural. So that is why the verb is also plural, are, and it's not is. So in this sentence we are not saying he or his friends is to be blamed, but he or his friends are to be blamed. Are is the verb and the nearest subject is friends. The next rule states that a singular verb is used when a plural noun denotes some specific quantity or amount. So what do I mean by that? Whenever in a sentence you have singular verb, okay, or a plural noun, what do I do with that? So basically what I'm trying to put it across is that a singular verb is used when a plural noun denotes some specific. Suppose there is a plural noun which is denoting some specific quantity. In that time, we will not use a plural verb, but we'll use a singular verb. For example, 150 rupees. Okay, there's a plural noun, 50 rupees is too much for this bag, not are too much for this bag. It will be singular because it denotes some specific quantity or amount. Let me give another example. 2/3 of the city. It is 2/3 of the city, not are in ruins, but is in ruins because the plural noun here is denoting some specific quantity or amount. The next rule that we have is When the subject of the sentence is composed of two or more nouns or pronouns connected by and, use a plural verb. So here in this particular sentence, I'll just read out the example. The doctoral student and the committee members write every day. So this sentence is composed of two nouns. The first noun is the doctoral student and the second noun is the committee members. And it is connected by and. Okay. So what do we use? A singular verb or a plural verb? Definitely we'll use a plural verb. Okay. So when the subject is composed of two or more nouns connected by and, then we will use a plural noun. So it's never the doctoral student and the committee members writes. If you write writes, it will become singular verb. So you have to write here write every day. Again, the next rule says that when there is one subject and more than one verb. So what about those sentences which has got more than one verb? What do we do? So the verbs throughout the sentence must agree with the subject. So let's try to understand through one example here. Interviews are one way to collect data and allow researchers to gain an in-depth understanding of participants. So here the subject is interviews. So since it is in plural, we are using are. Okay. And then the data, after data again, we are not saying and allows researchers. We just use a singular verb, we say allow, because the rule says when there is one subject and more than one verb, whenever there is more than one verb, here it is are and allow. So the verb throughout the sentence must agree with the subject. So here the verbs are and allow, but the subject is one, that is interviews, and that is plural. So that is the reason we'll go with plural verb throughout the sentence. So the next rule states that when a compound sentence or a compound subject contains both a singular and a plural noun. So if in a sentence you have both a singular noun and a plural noun or pronoun and is joined by or nor, the verb will agree with the part of the sentence that is closest to the verb. Okay, so I again repeat, this is called the rule of proximity. So let us see here with an example so that it is clear to us. The student or the committee members write every day. So here we first refer to one subject as the student. Okay, one noun is the student and the other noun is the committee members. So as you know, it has to be definitely right and not rights, because the immediate subject is committee members and that is plural. So the verb should also be plural. That is called the rule of proximity. Let's try to understand the same example in a different manner. So the next sentence says the committee members or the student. Okay, so now instead of or in place of committee members we have the student. So that is the reason it becomes writes every day. The student is singular, so the verb will also be singular, writes. So as I already said, a verb is made singular by adding s to it, right? So that is why reason it will be singular here, because we have swapped or changed the committee members with the student here. So the verb will follow the subject, the student. Again, the next rule states that the words and phrases each one, either, neither, everyone, everybody, anyone, anybody, nobody, somebody, someone, and no one are singular and require a singular verb. This I've already stated it before. Just to reiterate, each of the participants was willing to be recorded, singular. Neither alternative hypothesis was accepted. This I've repeated because students do a lot of mistakes here. I will offer a $5 gift card to everybody who participates in the study, singular. No one was available to meet with me at the preferred times. The next rule states that collective nouns are words that imply more than one person but are considered singular and takes a singular verb. So here in this rule we are told that collective nouns, though they imply more than one person, but they're considered to be singular, and that is the reason they take a singular verb. Some examples of collective nouns are group, team, committee, family, and class. The first example, the group meets every week. So here the verb is singular since the collective noun group is stated as a singular subject or a singular noun. Again, let us see the next example. The committee agrees on the quality of the writing. Here also it is taken to be singular. But we have an exception here. The committee participate in various volunteer activities in their private lives. So you might ask me a question that why it is, plural here and not singular. The reason is sometimes The plural verb is used if the focus is on the individuals in the group. So even though we are referring to a group, but the focus is on the individual, then at times, okay, we use plural verb, but this is much less common. So that is the reason here, since we are focusing on an individual, so the verb is plural here. The committee participate in various volunteer activities in their private lives. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching. Do like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. We'll soon upload a video on tenses before your first term exams. Spread the word. Let everybody be benefited from this small effort, because many of times we feel a bit confused with the subject verb agreement. So once again, all the best. Thank you for watching. Thank you.